God says you cannot make it right. There's nothing we can do to make it right. And aren't you glad God didn't do that? And aren't you glad God doesn't do that? Say, hey, you're going to have to make it right. We were the ones who did him wrong, and he knows that we can't make it right. So what did he do? He has done all he can to make it right for us. He reconciled, the Bible says, yet now hath he reconciled in the body of his flesh through death. God says he's the one that made it right. We did the wrong. God says, I'll make it right. He did the wrong, but God says, I'll make it right. Well, how's he going to make it right? Notice what he says, through death. The Bible says the wages of sin is death. God says because of our sin, we deserve to die and be separated from God forever. We did the wrong. We've brought this upon ourselves. God says there's only one way to make this right. It's through death. There's only one way to make it right. It's through death. You will either pay for your sin in hell, in the lake of fire, which still really doesn't make it right. That's just the payment for it. Or God says, I can make it right. It's still going to cause death. But instead of it having to be your death, God says, I'll send my son to die in your place.